Sean starts off this hour in Chicago. Hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so I just graduated college, and I'm about to move to California, cross country. I'm from Chicago, to start my job. I took out $126,000 in loans. At this moment, I owe $140 because of interest and stuff like that. And if I pay for 12 years at a steady rate, I will pay over $200,000 with interest and stuff like that. My starting salary is $75,000, and I'm looking at the payments that I owe, especially for my new car in college, and I'm starting to stress out. And I was wondering if you knew how I could basically take my first step into financial adulthood.
Sure. Cool. What are you going to do for a living?
I'm an aerospace engineer.
Okay.
That's my major.
So you're good at math, and that makes this overwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So what part of this formula made buying a car a good idea?
Because it's not Chicago and it's not New York, it's LA. So no matter what, I will have to drive to my work, and I don't have a car.
Yeah, but what did you buy?
I got a Kia Niro.
Brand new.
It is brand new, yes.
Yeah. And so you went and spent a bunch of money on a car when you were already over $100,000 in debt. Okay. What do you owe on your Kia?
27, 28.
Okay. All right.
I got it. Oh, sorry.
Well, number one, I cannot imagine a world in which I would accept 12 years of servitude as my future.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm a rip the Band-Aid off fast guy, not pull it off one arm hair at a time for 12 years. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds excruciating to me. And and truthfully, the best results we've had getting people out of debt is a rip the Band-Aid off kind of guy. But what that just described was a young guy who just got his first job in freaking Los Angeles, making $75,000 a year, who's getting ready, if you do what I tell you to do, to have no life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that means you got to sell the car because you shouldn't have bought it. It's a disaster. And get you a cheap car, like a $5,000 car to drive to work. And then keep living like a college student, because you had never made $75,000 in your life. You probably had never made $7,500 in your life.
Nope.
Okay, so you've been living on nothing. Well, sort of. You've been living on student loans, but you've been living on, a very, very sparse lifestyle. So I want you to live on beans and rice and beans, a scorched earth deal. And let's just do some simple math here, okay? If the car's gone and we got a $5,000 car, which you've got to do, that was insanity. And then we said, all right, out of $75,000, we're going to live on nothing. So we're going to put $30,000 on the debt. That's 4 years you're debt free. In 4 years you're debt free. And that's if you don't get a raise. If you put $40,000 on the debt, which is really extreme, that means you're probably working an extra job in addition to the new job you got. But you can work. The good thing about working all the time is you don't have time to spend money. And so you don't have time to go to the club. You don't have time to go out on a date. You don't have time to do anything. You're just getting out of debt. That's all you're doing. And if you do that, put $40,000 a year on this, you're done in 3 years, my man. Now, that sounds like a pretty much better life, because here's the thing. Can you imagine being the other side of this, and by then you're making 85 or 90. You're 3 years older, which puts you at, what, 28 years old probably, right?
25.
Now, 3 more would be 20. You'll be 25 at that point? You're at 22 now?
Yeah, I'll be 25 at that point.
Okay,
I'm 22.
all right. So you're 25 years old, you don't have a payment in the world, and you're making it $90,000. That's the future you, but between here and there is hell.
Yeah.
You're going to walk across hot coals, my man. Or you can do the 12 years of servitude and keep your car payment because your friends think you're cool because you bought a car and got a new big job, and blah, 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 blah. And that's just normal and broke. And you're going to look like everybody else in L.A. They all look nice and are broke. By the way, it's true of every city in America, not just L.A. So you pull up at a stoplight, man, you can count the payments around you is what you can do. That's most people. And if you want to be most people, you can do that. But you didn't call me to be most people. You called me to not live 12 years of crap. So I would just go down in the hole and not come out for 3 years. And when you come out, you'll be a whole new person, completely clean, and be done. And that's going to be very hard to do. I'm asking a lot of a 22-year-old young man. But the more you do that, the more maturity you're going to show. That's living like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. I know mathematically you can do it. The question is, do you have the backbone to say no that many times to everything around you that is glittering in L.A. for 3 whole years and work an extra job and sell the car you just bought? So I'm asking you to do a lot of hard stuff. It's not going to affect me. I'm not getting any of your money. The only person that's going to affect you. But if you were my son and you were 22, that's exactly what I would tell you to do. Knowing what I know about building wealth, that is your shortest path to becoming wealthy. And if you do that, you'll set yourself in a position in character and habits, in processes in your life called budgeting, and you'll set yourself up for a lifetime of success. But you can just wallow around in this and blame everybody else for you going $120,000 in debt, plus interest, plus a car, and blame everybody else if you want. That's what some people do. They blame everybody else. I was reading a thread this morning. This millennial was whining about how society had beat them up. And I'm like, I never hit you once, kid. I'll just show you how to get out once you dig your own stinking hole. Whether you're 25 or 35 or 55. We've all done stupid. And you've been doing it a lot lately, so it's time to turn it around. That's the thing. So hold on, I'm going to send you a copy of Graduation Gift. It's called The Total Money Makeover. It's a book that sold 6.5 million copies. It's on the bestseller list every week for about 10 plus years. And it'll show you exactly what to do step by step to get out of debt. And I'm here to help you. If you need help as you go along, Sean, you just let me know, man. You call me anytime. If you're working on this stuff and you don't understand something or you just need some encouragement, I want you to go win. I think you got the mental capacity to go win. You wouldn't have gotten the degree. Dumb people don't get the degree you got. You're obviously a smart guy. Now, the question is, are you going to be wise? There's a difference in smart and wise. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Jake is with us. Jake's in Orlando, Florida. Hi, Jake. What's up?
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I had a game plan I wanted to run by. I know I could count on you to tell me if it was a stupid butt idea or not. So
I love you, and I'll tell you the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Got $50,000 in consumer debt. I've been putting back this last year for retirement. I've got about $50,000 in retirement accounts. I've got $220 in student loans, and I have a house that I could sell for roughly $5, and I owe $280 on.
That's your personal residence?
Yes, sir.
You a doctor or a lawyer?
So I'm anesthesia.
Good.
Pharmacist. Yeah. Okay.
Thank God. So you're making what, $250,000?
So I'm basis 190 with overtimes 260, 270.
Almost like I've done this before. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
All right. And what does she make?
So she stays at home with the kids.
Okay.
I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay. What's your plan?
So I'm thinking about taking what's in their retirement accounts, wiping out the consumer debt, and selling the house and wiping out the student loans, renting for a year, saving the 20% for the next house, and doing things right moving forward. I don't know if it's a quick hit reset button or suck it up and buckle down and focus.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I appreciate your motivation. You're willing to do whatever it takes. That's pretty cool. Not many people are.
Yes, sir.
But you don't hate your house, and neither does your wife.
We love the house.
Okay. So I almost never sell the house if I can avoid it, as advice.
Okay.
It's if you can't afford it, we're going to get rid of it. If it's the only way to avoid bankruptcy, we're going to get rid of it. But in your case, you have this huge hole that you're in, and you have this fabulously large shovel.
Right.
So, no, in order to keep the house, though, the family's going to commit to a couple of 3 years of beans and rice and no vacations. No lifestyle.
Right.
We're not living like a rich doctor because we're not. We're a broke doctor.
Right.
So, no, and you never cash out your retirement to pay off debt unless it's to avoid bankruptcy. Or unless you have, $2 million and you're 68 years old and you don't have any penalties, we might do it then, but not now. We're not doing this with the penalties. So stop adding to retirement. Get on a beans and rice budget. The two of you commit to completely cleaning up all of your $270,000 worth of debt with your $250,000 income. So let's say we did 90 a year. That's 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. Because it sets you free for the rest of your life then to invest and with this fabulous income. And your income's not going to do anything but go up. You're not been out that long.
And how old are your kids again?
5 and 3.
Perfect.
So let me tell you on the back end of this, what this looks like. Your two little kids are going to get to watch you struggle and make do, and y'all make dinner at home even when you're tired. And they're going to take some incredible lessons from this. They're going to change them forever. And so I would tell you, don't rob them of a 3-year learning opportunity watching their dad and mom do really hard things so that
to clean up a mess.
Different. That's
clean
right.
up your mess.
They get to watch this thing. It's going to be great.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. I do a lot of stupid stuff, but my personal rule is not to do the same stupid stuff over and over.
You evolved.
I try to, I've evolved it's a higher level of stupid.
There we go.
Because the past level of stupid has been grown upon.
It's always right below the surface. You got to watch out.
PhD in DUMB. I have graduated.
Wow.
There you go.
Deloney has 2 of those, I've heard.
Well, he's not in that. He's got real ones. But there you go.
The good kind.
Today's question comes from Jason in Connecticut, who's also not evolved. Can we start treating Bitcoin the same way you would treat single stocks? Crud, son. I understand you're not a fan. No kidding. Where'd you figure that out? But an asset with $1 trillion market cap is not a beanie baby. No, but it's still thin air. Ask people like Warren Buffett, who says if he doubled the amount he had put in Bitcoin, he would still have zero because that's the amount he's put in Bitcoin. I'm going with Warren on this one. Not saying you have to add it to your portfolio, but it's a good enough asset to invest 5%. No, it's not.
Okay. I don't know where the 5% comes from.
I don't know
It's
where
an
the
arbitrary
$1 trillion
number.
market cap comes from. Mist and smoke and mirrors, like the whole
here's what's
freaking
happened,
concept.
Dave. While you were enjoying some time off, Bitcoin has shot from the ground to the moon and probably back up again. And so now everyone's getting loud again.
No way.
Because it's hit all-time highs, and so now everyone's going, see, Dave is wrong about this.
You know what? We've got something else that repeats itself, like gold. See, I've been doing this show for 32 years, and ever so often gold goes up, and everybody goes, see, Dave, I told you. And then it goes down, and those people just disappear. And then it goes up, and they go, see, Dave, I told you. You don't understand gold. You don't really understand. Gold has value. Like what? Well, why does it have value? Because of people like you. It's a commodity. That's where people give value. The only reason gold has value is 2 people agreed it had value, and they fought over it. That's the only reason. That's the same reason that green paper has value. 2 people agreed it had value, and they fought over it. That's what gives something value. So commodities are exactly the same way as currencies. And Bitcoin, someday, all kidding aside, all sarcasm aside, someday it may level out and become a thing. But, Jason, it's not there. It's not there. I wouldn't wish a Bitcoin investment on somebody I really dislike.
That's saying something.
I really wouldn't. I mean, I don't even want those people to lose money.
Well, even then, I see single stocks very differently because stocks are based on a company's performance and revenue being created.
Well, that's because you're intelligent.
I didn't have to think that deeply to get there. And so, again, I'm not mad at Bitcoin, but to say Bitcoin is the same as a single stock is just not true.
No, Bitcoin is a currency.
It's speculation based on hype.
Currencies have no value except for their track record that indicates that 2 people are willing to fight over them. That's why the yen versus the dollar, the pound versus the dollar, the Deutschmark versus the yen, these things compared back and forth. It's the faith that people have in something. And of all the currencies, Bitcoin has the least faith. It's the most...
I've heard a lyric once. You got to have faith, Dave.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't going to go there. Oh, yeah, there's it. I mean, it's not, so it's going to continue to be volatile until it's not. And even then, I don't invest in the Iraqi dinar because it had Saddam Hussein's face on it, and no one has faith in that currency anymore. I don't invest in Confederate dollars from the Civil War because no one any longer has faith that they have value except as a collectible. I do not invest in things where people have not established a long track record of faith. And even then on a currency, I don't invest in a currency. I would utilize it. I would utilize it. So to the point that I don't trust PayPal to be an exchange. That's a trust mechanism. I don't use PayPal for an exchange. So I don't even use Bitcoin for an exchange because it's too freaking out there for that even. But it's a currency, honey. It's not an investment, to George's point.
Well, Dave, you just don't understand the blockchain technology. And once you get it, you'll change your mind. That's the line I hear all the time.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't understand the blockchain. It's the future. Maybe it is.
You know, when you say stuff like that, it indicates you don't understand investments. Because I've seen 4 cycles in my adult life of the nothing down real estate come and go. 4 cycles of it. We're in the 4th right now on TikTok and a little bit on Instagram. But I've seen 4 of them. Some of you aren't old enough to have seen one of them. And so you're going to fall headlong into it like I did the first time and bloody your freaking nose. So you can decide, do old people have wisdom from their experience, or are they out of touch and they don't understand blockchain technology? You don't understand because you didn't grow up with an iPhone in your hand. You didn't use it as a pacifier, so you don't know how the world works. See, you can decide that if you want, or you can decide to actually freaking learn something. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My husband, we have 6 children together. We've been married for almost 20 years, and he wants to file for a divorce this summer. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. I've had a little bit of part-time income, what works with our kids' schedule, but essentially everything's valued under him, so to speak. Just trying to figure out how to financially prepare myself for everything coming ahead.
Holy moly.
What happened, Christy?
Honestly, I really don't know. Back in 2010, when we had our 3rd child, we actually used to teach FPU and paid off all our debt. Things were going really well. Had 3 more kids. And then in 2020, my husband, when we refinanced our house, confessed to me that he had been using credit cards and drove up some debt. So we took out a little extra money on our home loan to pay off those. He promised me he was going to cancel all those and they were going to be done. And then earlier this year, I found out again he had driven up almost $60,000 in credit card debt. So we took out a second mortgage against the house to pay for all that because, as you can imagine, all the credit card fees was hundreds and hundreds of $1,000 a month, not to mention its balances. And then things went downhill really quickly after that. So, it's been a very difficult year. Our oldest started college this year. We've got kids from 18 all the way down to 4 years old.
Oh, gosh.
The 4-year-old is in my preschool class currently. I'm a preschool teacher to try to make money because I can have my son with me. Life's a little chaos. I just want to try to be prepared. I just found out that he hasn't been paying my life insurance, so I'm going to need to get a new life insurance policy as well. Just kind of everything's up on end.
When you say he's filing,
I appreciate your advice.
Well, I appreciate that. When you say he's filing for divorce this summer, is he still living with y'all?
Yeah.
So you don't get to make that. Like that's like pulling a pin on a grenade and rolling it in the living room and saying that's going to blow up sometime. Like you don't get to do that. Like because you're dead man walking. There's going to be a cancer in your house.
He's not saying you don't get to do it. He's saying your husband.
Yeah, he didn't get to do that. If you're divorcing me, then you're out. Because here's the thing:
out of our marriage back in the fall and stuff, and I wasn't allowed to talk to him anymore. And he quit sleeping in our room and started hiding in other parts of the house. And I'm not allowed to know where he's at, and we don't communicate about the kids. It's gotten really
he's not allowed to live there anymore.
Yeah, he's out. Because now he's a man who has said, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, spiritually, romantically, or legally. And
if your spirit leaves, you should take your body with you.
Yeah, now he's a man that is causing havoc in the lives of your kids and with you. You can't have your cake and eat it too on this one.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about it, though.
So, have you contacted an attorney yet?
I'm meeting with one on Monday to
Good for
figure
you.
out what
Okay.
some of my legal rights are.
Good for you.
And what
I
does your
just kept
husband? What does your
praying
husband
for
make a year?
He makes, I think it was $117 on our last tax return.
Okay, so your legal rights in most states with 6 children and a 20-year marriage are. He's not going to have much of that 117 left by the time he finishes with alimony and child support. It's almost all going to go to you and the kids.
What if he pushes it? I was a 50.
No, that's the law, honey. It's not. He didn't get to push.
Okay.
His opinion doesn't matter.
Dave, tell me if I'm wrong. I think 50-50 is about assets.
50-50 is assets, but it's not. I'm not talking about I'm talking about his income. The amount that a judge in most states will give you on a 20-year marriage on alimony, plus 6 children worth of child support. Percentage-wise, is going to take those two things together are going to take up a lot of that 117, and it's going to go to you to take care of the kids. So you're not going to have to take care of the kids and feed them and pay the house payment on a part-time daycare salary. And you can get your life insurance. And by the way, he can go ahead and start paying that now when he moves out next week after you meet with your lawyer. Your lawyer can explain to him that that's what his stuff is going to be, and so he can start paying that now. In most states, the judge will require that. I'm not an attorney, and I have no idea how you do things in South Dakota. But in most states, that's a general law, the way things flow, okay? And so I'm always amazed that guys think they're going to just walk away and take all of their income, and they have 6 kids left back there.
Well, they imagine.
And it's like I'll be sure and send you $5, huh?
Well,
It's like,
yeah. Christy, I want you to ask your attorney this one important, multiple questions, whatever you have, but make sure you ask this question. I'm hearing this happen more and more and more, where somebody says, I want to divorce you, but depending on what state you're in, whoever files, quote unquote, looks like the bad guy. So I'm wondering here if he's trying to force you into filing because he thinks somehow that's going to help him financially on the back end, or he can go to a judge and be like, I don't know, man, she just filed on me, and here, just pour on me. So ask your attorney if it matters who files the paperwork.
in most states regarding child support and alimony,
Doesn't matter.
It won't matter.
Good.
It won't matter. Now, on some other things that we're arguing about, maybe. Okay, a judge might step in and have some leeway, but it's a matter of law. It's not a matter of the judge's whimsical decision.
Sure. But Dave, I cannot tell you how often I'm hearing this now, where somebody doesn't want to. They want out of the marriage, and
most of the time they don't want to be the bad guy spiritually. Before God, I'm not the one that filed, although I caused the thing.
I caused the thing. I left you. I caused chaos in your house and finances. But
I abandoned you with 6 children.
Yeah,
after running up credit cards 3 different times deceptively. This guy's a real treat. Yeah.
And you dude, you just said it. It's so important. People think when they're in a tough spot in their marriage. Everybody gets in those moments. Or there's a bunch of kids running around. You're exhausted. Work's crazy. The government's all this stuff. And you think, if I could just extract myself from this situation and plant myself somewhere else, all would go away. I want to get a divorce. And Dave, you called it out. It's important to know that's just not how divorce works. When you extract yourself and you just plant yourself somewhere else, man, it comes with so many other strings and payments and connections, and
there's
juggling kids' schedules
so many
and
things
all
that the law is going to dictate to, even without Christy wanting it.
Yeah,
the law is still going to make him do certain things in most states. Again, not an expert. I'm not an attorney, and I don't practice law in South Dakota. You need to talk to somebody that does on Monday, and then you need to start taking a position of strength on this. This guy is playing weird stuff going on here. Yeah, that's sad. I'm so sorry you're facing that,
for Christy.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm having a problem. I make decent money at my job, but I can't seem to save. It doesn't matter if I try, separate accounts that aren't connected to my checking account. Mm-hmm. And I just cannot seem to save money to have an emergency fund, to pay off debts.
What happens? You transfer it over there and then you end up just peeping back in there and sneaking the money out?
Yeah, I just keep dipping into it, whether it's for something important or just something that I want that's not important. I just can't seem to, connect the dots between saving and not using it. And
all right, Leo. So I got a question. I'm asking this on behalf of my friend here. If we were following you around with a documentary crew for a week, what would be the top items that you're spending, the type of things you're blowing money on, you're spending the money on? If we're following you around, we'd go, oh, Leo, he's spending money on this. Give us a top 5, just off the top of your head.
Oh, it's gas station, energy drinks, hunting supplies, things that I don't need.
All right, okay. That was good. That's a good list. Anything else?
Not really. When I was younger, it was before I had kids and real responsibilities. It was I'll make more money tomorrow, and I've kind of carried that over now, and I can't seem to get away from that.
Trying to out-earn bad spending habits.
I got to ask another follow-up, Leo. If I'm following you, all right, and we're in the gas station parking lot, and we're zooming in on the doors, and you're busting out of that thing, what do you got in the arms? What do you got in the old bag at the gas station? I'm curious.
Oh, I already know.
Usually it's 2 to 3 energy drinks. Maybe a snack for work and a can of tobacco.
Dip, corn nuts, Mountain Dew, right in it.
Oh, man, that's disgusting. Say it's not true, Leo.
Oh, it be so.
Oh, it is. Unfortunately.
I got to tell you, if I was on a desert island and the only thing I had was a bag of corn nuts,
listen, corn
I'd
nuts
starve.
slap.
I'd starve. I really would. I'd die.
They're actually delicious.
So let's
they
help the
smell
man out with his budget, Jade.
Okay, so I think I heard you say you had kids. Is that right?
Yes.
How many? 4? Okay, and you're married still?
I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
We are dating. We are together. We live in the same house, but we have not gotten married yet.
Okay, so you have a woman that you're soon to marry. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the money first, and then we'll go back to the relationship, because we're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
4 kids.
Okay, so first off, what you really need, I think the solution here is a good detailed budget. I always say that budgets should be 3 things: detailed, realistic, and flexible. And that will really help you out, because I think what's happening, like you said, you're kind of spending the money before you get it. And it's like, I can out earn this. And if you don't, then you end up having to pull back out that savings. So we'll make sure that you get set up with EveryDollar. And what I want you to do, I want you to sit down and create your budget. And I want you to be so detailed about all the things that you spend money on, even the energy drinks. If you know that's something that's part of your life right now as it sits, put it on the budget. If you know, hey, like I buy a hunting knife at least once a month, put it on the budget. Like, be realistic and honest with who you are in your spending so that you can begin to see, okay, I see what's going on here, right? So that's a good place to start. And then obviously, the same way that you're budgeting for all of the other things, you budget for things like savings, and you can actually see, do I have money to put aside in savings? Can I live the lifestyle I'm living and still have money to put aside in savings? Right now, it seems as though the answer is no, but when you do the budget, you're really going to get a clear picture of what's going on. So that's thing 1. Thing 2, I haven't even asked you about debt yet. Do you have any debt?
We have two vehicles that I pay for, and I have maybe $2,000 of credit cards that I'm slowly working on paying off. Okay,
so putting everything into perspective, right now, if you do find extra money in your budget after you've budgeted for everything, right now the money wouldn't necessarily go towards savings. You'd save up $1,000 and that's it. If you can get $1,000 and just set it aside, tuck it aside for a rainy day, that's great. Everything else needs to go towards paying off this debt. Okay. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room with the relationship, because
I don't know why Mama's not paying for her car. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well, I don't understand why Mama's not married.
That don't go to school.
Well, I'm with you on that. I'm as traditional as they get.
Why aren't you guys just married yet?
And it's 100% my fault. I am I want to give her everything that I possibly can, wedding wise. Like, I want it to be the wedding of her dreams.
Yeah.
And with the money situation, I am not to that point where I'm comfortable spending that money on something like that.
I hear that.
So it's me holding back. She's pushing for it, which I have no problem doing it, but I want it to be everything she wants. I don't want her to have to hold back on something.
Listen,
because we don't have the money for it.
I 100% honor the idea that you want to give her a wonderful wedding party. But I want you guys to frame that as that's what it is. It's a celebration. It's a party. You can get married legally and don't nobody have to know but you guys. And then you're at least protected legally. Huh?
She's been looking into that through the courthouse and things like that.
How about this? How about you guys just get married and then you can throw a celebration years from now, or you can rededicate your vows and she can put on the dress. I mean,
spoiler alert, everybody is married before their wedding day. Everyone. The moment you get the document.
Oh.
The moment you go and sign the document.
Boy, you had me there for a second. I was like,
So the idea that it's like, no, I want to wait until the day. I'm like, we all get married on paper a week or so before we're actually married.
That's right.
So it's not even like, we make it more of a thing than it is. So I think for you guys, it's like, yeah, get married on paper. That way you can do all the things we just talked about with your wife.
Yeah.
That sounds nice, doesn't it?
Okay. It does.
It does sound nice.
Yeah.
And then you guys can save up for this wonderful party. Right. You can do all of it.
How much do you think you're spending a month in energy drinks, bro?
Oh,
got a plan here.
It's usually about $10 a day.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do 30 days in a month.
Uh-huh.
All right. That's $300.
Ooh,
okay.
My guy is Ric Flair on those energy drinks.
I'm telling you, man, you need to get rid of the energy drinks. That's a $300 a month raise. Do some push-ups, some pull-ups. All right. Get some good night's sleep. You won't need an energy drink. I don't need an energy drink. I wake up with the juice, man. Okay? I'm just telling you.
Ken. I drink a little bit of coffee.
But that's like 2 cups max.
That's
the
a lot of
energy
coffee.
drinks, 2 cups?
All right.
Not energy drinks. Those are horrible.
Yeah, those are the Tory.
But I'm not getting on your health. I'm actually saying $300 a month. I wanted you to see quickly how you just changed your life.
That's a big deal.
That's a big raise for you. True or false?
True.
You can get rid of the energy drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started on the tobacco.
I'm slowing down on that.
Good.
I know.
You got 4
very
kids.
much so.
And that's why I didn't bring it up. I am trying to actually be sensitive. I get that one's harder to kick than the energy drinks.
If you do this budget, I think you're going to be astonished. And especially when you share it with your new wife, since you guys are getting married this weekend, I think you're both going to be astonished. And there's something about seeing your behavior on paper written out that you go, oh, like you clutch your pearls. You're like, I can't believe I've been spending my hard-earned money on this when I could have this.
Right.
And so what you could have is what you and your wife, when the time comes, you need to be dreaming that up together.
You're giving all this great financial advice. I'm trying to help him, but in a different category.
Yeah.
You're my friend. You are Mrs. Clean Eater.
Give
him some. No, you do a great job.
Thank you.
Give him a healthy snack instead of the chips at the gas station. What's he taking to the office for a snack? Come on.
Ken, I'm glad you asked this. Let me tell you what I'm on right now.
I knew you would like it.
I take a Granny Smith apple. And
I love a Granny Smith. Sour.
I slice it up, right? Yeah. So we got slices. Then I get a little
Tell me it's peanut butter.
Jar of peanut butter. It's not just that.
We are separated at birth. I know we look like it.
Wait, I'm getting more. Hemp seeds. So I go apple into the peanut butter, into the hemp seeds, salted caramel.
I don't know if I need to be that chilled out at work.
Just a little bit of salted caramel. It is so good.
Is the hemp seed going to knock his intensity off?
No, hemp seeds they're a complete protein. They're really high in protein. They're delicious.
I'm learning something new every day. There it is, Leo. There's your healthy snack, man. We just saved you more money.
Yeah, man.
No more
Put it in the cup holder.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Joe's with us in Joplin, Missouri. Hey, Joe, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
All right. I'm pretty much a new listener. I haven't been listening very long, but I'm liking what I'm hearing, and you got me motivated. I bought your book yesterday, the workbook, and I did the Every Dollar app. And the problem is I'm $100 in the hole when I do all the budgeting, and that's not with saving or anything. And I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Mm-hmm. I got 3 vehicle payments, which is dumb, but and I'm just
Okay.
I don't know what
How
to
much do you owe on these cars each?
One of them, last car, owe $10,300, and with the motor blue when I bought it, and I have a different note on it for $4,500. My truck, I owe $9,000 on it, and Harley Davidson, I owe $11,500 on it.
Okay. And what other debts have you got, not counting these car debts?
I've got about 8,000 medical bills. I've got a stupid title loan on a vehicle that's a cheap vehicle I got that's paid for. I let my son drive sometimes. Furniture loan.
How much is the title loan?
$1,000.
Okay.
Furniture loan, bed loan.
How much?
Bed loan is $1,000. Furniture loan is around $1,000, right around it. Over Verizon about $4,000. And I can't hardly pay for my kids' lunch stuff anymore. I'm getting in a hole. I don't know whether to.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's stop it. What's your household income?
Before taxes, I make $55. My wife's about $20, so about $75 before everything comes out.
Okay. All right. Cool. Are you putting any money into retirement?
I was putting 5% in, and I knocked it down to 1% to give me a little more money. Yeah.
And how big was your tax return last year?
8,000.
8,000. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. Fun. And how much do you owe on your home?
I rent.
Okay. Good. All right. So, and you're what? 45 years old?
38.
38. Okay. That's what about the right zone of what I was going to guess. So, good. All right.
Got 3 kids at home still.
Yeah. Here's what you've been doing. You work your butt off, and you pay no attention to money, and it has been whipping your butt for 15 years.
I agree.
And consequently, you get in a pinch and you do something stupid, then you get in another pinch and do something else stupid, and then the stupid piles up, and you're just trying to make it hand to mouth. It's thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday.
Exactly.
Been there myself, brother. That's how I can tell.
Yeah.
You're a good guy. You're a hard-working guy, but you've not been paying attention to the money part, and it's kicking your butt. So we're going to turn that around today. All right. Here's a couple things we're going to do immediately today. You stop all contributions to your retirement today, and you go in and you change your W-4 at your payroll withholding because you have way too much being withheld. When you get an $8,000 refund, what that really means is that somewhere around $600 a month too much is coming out of your check.
Right. Okay.
And they take too much out, and then they give it back to you in April. Santa Claus does not live in Washington, D.C. That money that you got back was your money that you gave them too much of. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
So change your withholding by $600 a month, more coming home. That's going to mean this year you'll still get a refund because you've already still done it for this year, but next year you hopefully won't get a refund. Because all a refund is a return of too much money paid in. It's a savings account with no interest, and you don't need a savings account with no interest right now. You need money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So $600 a month coming home more. Plus, we're going to not have the 401k coming home, and that money's going to going in. So that's all going to come home starting right now. 100% of it. Just stop everything. If you've got any gimmick insurance like cancer insurance, all those little stuff, stop all of that. The only thing you need is just straight health insurance. That's all you need at work. Straight health insurance, and if there's a long-term disability, you might look at that. Okay, and then we're going to start looking at what we can sell, like the Harley, maybe the kid car, and we're going to live food first, shelter second, lights and water third, car payments fourth, and and we're going to get on beans and rice around this place and get this budget balanced and pick up extra work and have a big garage sale and sell everything in sight and start turning this around. But when you start paying attention to this and you get this budget balanced and you get on a mission to get rid of this debt, you can turn it. Hold on, I'm going to put you guys into Financial Peace University, our 9-week class. I want you to turn this and you call me back and tell me you did it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Jalen joins us in Tupelo, Mississippi. Jalen, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Doing good. How are you, Jalen?
I'm doing good.
How can we help?
Yeah, so just a quick rundown. I'm 23 years old. I make about $50,000 a year, and I'm trying to clean up a big car mistake.
Okay.
How big?
$35,000 worth.
That's the loan?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the car worth?
So the car is worth, by Kelly Blue Book, is about $27,500.
Okay.
You got any money in the bank?
Not much. Very little.
Like
that your
1,000?
3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your only debt?
No, I have about 4,000 in credit card.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we got to get out of this loan. If I'm you, I'm definitely going to get out of that loan. It's too much of your income, you know, and if I'm you, in this case, it's worth, you've got $8,000 in the bank. No,
$3K?
You've got $3,000 in the bank. So in this case, I would sell it and I would take out a small little, you know, go to a credit union and take a small loan out for that $5,000 that you're upside down. And, you know, at that point, it's worth it for you to get out of $35,000 of debt. And then you can take the money, you know, from there, we're going to try to get a cash car after that.
Yeah,
how does that sound to you?
That would be my next question. I've already looked at the possibility of getting a loan, and I actually already have a loan. I'm just yet to sign the papers.
What do you mean you have a loan? What kind of loan is this?
It's a consolidation loan.
Ooh, no. We don't want that. What are you trying to consolidate?
You only have two deals here.
Well, the cars, I'm not going to get $27,500 for the car. I've looked around at the offers and I've been offered $25,000, $26,000.
From where?
So I would still places like just local dealerships.
Well, yeah, you don't want to go there. I mean, you need to do some homework and shop everywhere. Go private party, Craigslist, Auto Trader, Facebook Marketplace.
Hey, don't do that consolidation. Don't sign that. Don't do that.
Okay.
That's not helping you. All it is moving around the debt with crappier terms, and it's not going to get you out of debt any faster. It'll just make you feel like you did something.
Yeah. How many hours of work are you working?
It varies. I'm on salary, so I just work like 5-6 days a week.
Okay, I want you to work more because what I want to do, I want to get you out of this debt. And like I said, for me, it's worth getting out of this car loan, but you're going to need to save up a little bit of money before you can do that. So I want you working so hard, bringing in as much cash as you can, because I want you keeping the $1,000 as your starter emergency fund. So that gives you $2,000 that you may be able to put towards your next car. And I want you to save up a little bit more money so that you can get out of this $35,000 loan and also be on your way to paying off that other $4,000 that you have in debt.
Right. Okay. I understand.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's overwhelming because you're looking at this and it's like, oh my gosh, I just made this huge mistake. And it's really easy to just like try to jump into a solution that feels like it's going to solve everything for you instantly. But let me tell you, consolidation, it's really not the way. A lot of times you end up getting a bigger interest rate on whatever the consolidation is because it's based on your credit score. They're paying you money. You're paying them money to do something that you can do yourself. They're not going to pay off the debt for you. You still got to pay the debt off. So in this case, it's just not worth it for you at all. Like I said, if it takes for you to get a small loan from a credit union just to bridge that gap between the 35K and, whatever you're able to sell it for, 25, 27 and a half, it looks like. It's worth it to do that, to get out of it. But I also want you to be able to get into a cash car. So let's work like crazy, man. Let's get another 2, 3, 4K saved up and let's get out of this thing and let's get a cash car. It doesn't have to be great. Get yourself a beater that gets you from point A to point B. Do you have a long commute?
Actually, I have a work vehicle.
What?
Oh.
Look, dude, you're holding out on us, bro.
Can you use that for a while?
Not the job, no.
Okay.
So what do you use the work vehicle for?
Just work.
But do you use it to get to work?
But you can't get to work in it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So when do you use the personal car? Just on the weekends?
Honestly, I hate to say it, but never.
Jalen.
That's
you
what
are
hurts.
getting rid of this car today. Because at this point, bro, you just need a beater. Something to get you from point A to point B.
I used a Tupelo zip code. I sorted low to high.
Yeah.
There's some great cars for $4-5 grand.
Yes.
And so I'm taking the personal loan, getting out of this thing.
Yes.
And using that money towards a used car that you're never even going to use. So there you go. Thanks for the call, Jalen.
So NPR, somebody sent me the link today. I guess it was our producer, James, sent it. NPR, Stacy Smith, a writer for NPR, has a full article about a young lady paying off $18,000 worth of credit card debt, not making a lot of money, as a journalism living in Brooklyn. And she did this new craze that is sweeping the nation. Apparently Gen Z has a brand new fad out called cash stuffing.
It's a TikTok craze.
Living on cash on the envelope system. It's called cash stuffing.
Such a new concept.
Oh, it's brand new. Just came out. The TikTok guys just figured it out. And so it's fun, though. I'm glad she did it. So she learned how to do the envelope system. I heard about the envelope system 36 years ago the first time from a guy named Larry Burkett, and I have a collection of antique envelope systems from the 30s, the 20s, the 40s, and the 50s. It was quite the thing. There was little envelope systems like Rachel Cruz's wallet, had the red wallet that we have in the store right now, all the colors, but the brand new red one also. It has pockets in it that you label with categories in your budget, and some things in your budget. From the very first day I started teaching this, Larry Burkett stole it from your grandmother. I stole it from Larry Burkett and your grandmother. We've been teaching people to do the envelope system, which now is called cash stuffing, if you're a cool Gen Z TikToker. So that's how that works. And so here's how cash stuffing, now that I know what you call it, here's how the envelope system that we've taught for 40 years works. It's pretty simple. You have some categories in your budget, and they should be mostly, if not all, categories of things you spend when you are not paying bills. You're away from your desk. You're away from your home. So a grocery store could be car gas, could be entertainment budget. It could be restaurant budget. And I do recommend when you first start your budget, separate restaurants and groceries, because it'll make you realize what you're spending on restaurants. And so what we taught people to do, and we still teach people to do this, I just didn't know it was cool again. I mean, if you keep your clothes long enough, they come back. Just ask James. I mean, it's come back from the 90s, right? So, but so the idea is I'm going to spend X number of dollars for this pay period on groceries. I'll make up a number, $500, $400, whatever the number is. You actually get that much cash out of your paycheck and put the actual real dollars into the envelope marked groceries, or in the Rachel Cruz envelope system, and you label it groceries. And then you don't buy any groceries except out of that envelope. And you don't buy anything out of that envelope except groceries. It makes you keep your categories clean and true. And oh, by the way, when you are out of money in that category, stop buying. And so this young lady goes to the grocery store in this article with $46 in the grocery store. $46 cash.
For the week?
Apparently.
Or for the month?
No. It's for the week.
Okay.
And I believe I
was like,
have to
that
go
is
back
a
and reread the
strict
article.
budget.
But
That's being
I mean,
surprised.
but she's like, I have to stay away from the fancy olive oil aisle because I really yearn for that stuff, and I'm not going to get it. And she's buying day-old bread and gets a whole thing, a loaf of bread, and she's like, okay, that's 20 slices. That means I get 10 peanut butter and jellies out of that. And so, and she's going down $2.36, 80 cents, $6.38. And as she's walking through, she knows she can't go over $46 because that's what's in her food envelope.
Well, and it feels different when you're spending cold hard cash. Like when you actually are handing over something in that transaction that you don't get back, there's an emotional attachment to it.
The studies have shown, and one of the best studies was done at MIT, and they were studying the brainwave and the brainwave activity. And when you spend with real cash, it activates the pain centers of the brain. When you spend with plastic, nothing, no brain. But anyway, no, I mean, it's just dead. There's no, but in other words, you have an ouchie moment when you spend cash because you have a realization. And you're right, Rachel Cruz pointed out years ago, and I had never thought of it, but she and I were doing an event together, and she pointed out when you hand, you think about when you were a kid, if you wanted to trade one of your toys to another kid for their toy. So there's a trade, there's a transaction. You give them yours, that you don't get it back. They give you theirs. And so that's what happens with cash. We hand over president faces and we leave with a loaf of bread. So there's a transaction. There's a handing. You give up something and you leave with something. Visually, that doesn't happen when you spend with plastic. You give them the plastic, they hand you the plastic back and the loaf of bread. There's no transaction visually, to your point earlier. And that sounds so primitive, but it activates those parts of the brain, and you have to understand personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. So when you put systems in place that help you manage your behavior, it's a life hack. You're cutting a corner and making it work.
Well, and that's part of, when people say, I can keep credit cards and I pay them off every month. I'm not going to argue with the people who say that they can do that, but do you spend more when you do that? Do you not have that pain center go off? Like if you were actually spending cash, would you be a little bit more hesitant to buy that extra shirt, to buy that extra purchase that you maybe don't need?
Well, studies prove that you spend 12 to 18% more using plastic than using cash. I mean, we've got tons of research on this. This is not a new phenomenon. And in the digital world, we call it friction. The easier it is without realizing you spent money, without too many steps, then boom, you hit the PayPal, cling, boom.
Oh, Amazon.
You click on, your card is already on file, and you just click buy. And there's no recognition that money's actually spent. The weird thing is the studies also show that when you use a debit card versus a credit card, that there's more physiological reaction, recognition. I better have the money in that account, otherwise I just bounced a check when I use my debit card, right?
Yep.
Otherwise I've just gone into overdraft. And there's a physiological recognition of that in your body and in your brain versus when you lay the plastic down, you're just like, we'll figure it out later.
Mm-hmm. I think now too, it's like the temptation keeps getting even higher because we've got Venmo where you can just transfer money so easy. A friend's going to be like, I'll pick up dinner and you can just send the money. We've got Amazon where it's one-click ordering. It's like everything, it's getting so easy to spend. So it's like even if you're using a debit card, I think it's getting more and more important to create boundaries around your spending so that you feel it, so that, even if it's an easy transaction, there's a little bit of pain or a little bit of boundaries to keep you in line.
Here's the other side of the equation. Retired school teacher, retired Methodist pastor, $3.7 million net worth December of 2021. We're debt-free multimillionaires drowning in a cosmic ocean of grace. Giving is the most fun we can have, not involving fat, sugar, or chocolate.
I feel like we're speaking to ourselves.
We're childless, but we have 16 kids that we support, so we have 16 children. Very cool. See, that's what happens when you stuff cash. Brought to you by Xander Insurance. Compare rates from top term life insurance companies in seconds at Xander.com.
So I've got a quick question on if I'm too work obsessed and like obsessed about making money.
Okay. What makes you think you are?
So my girlfriend recently, we broke up, we split up, and she moved out just because I was never home. I work about probably 80 to 90 hours a week. We're both teachers to start with, but then 3 years ago, I started a lawn care company that's taken off. And now, like, all my time is obsessed with that. And I just, I spend so much time doing that I just have no time for really anything else.
Are you still teaching and doing lawn care?
Yes, so it works out pretty well. I teach, and then after I teach, I go and I mow like between 8 to 10 lawns a day during mowing season.
How much are you making on the lawn care business?
So lawn care last year, I did about $125K in revenue and about 90 in profit.
What'd you pay yourself?
90 profit.
90 profit. I'm the only employee.
Okay, I got you. So, and then how much are you making as a teacher?
So I'm making about 50 with summer school because I'll do summer school as well.
Okay, so you're working 80 hours. Why are you working 80 hours?
Just because it's between teaching and then mowing all the lawns and stuff.
I understand that that's what it takes to do all that. Why are you doing all that?
Yeah.
I only recommend term life insurance because it's simple, affordable coverage, and you should get it only from Xander Insurance because they work for you, not the insurance companies. Xander compares all the top term plans to save you money so you don't get ripped off with insurance that they market like a so-called investment. Term from Xander is the only life insurance I would get from my family. It's all I've ever bought and all I've ever recommended. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. Why are you doing all that?
Yeah. So my goal is to try and pay off my house as quickly as possible.
Okay, how long is it going to take you doing this?
I got 135 left on the mortgage, and I'm hoping that 2 more mowing seasons, and then that'll be done with.
Okay, and when the house is paid off, what are you going to do with your work schedule?
I'm hoping to hopefully hire some employees and continue it for a few more years because I'm only 26, and then just grow it from there. So that way teaching is just way easier because I just hated having half of my teaching paycheck taken out just for my mortgage. I just hated seeing that.
Okay, so she told you repeatedly that she was not happy with you never being there. This was not a one conversation.
Yes.
So you consciously chose to continue to work knowing that she probably wasn't going to be around. You chose the goal of hard work and paying off the house over the girl.
Yes.
Was she the one?
And then, I'm sorry, what?
Was she the one?
Not if you choose lawn care over her.
Well, not necessarily. Yeah. That's why we're figuring out, is he obsessed or focused? It's a fine line.
And then, just in the thing that, I keep, now that she's gone and stuff, and I'm just here in my house, by myself, and the one thing she said to me as she was leaving was, is it worth it just to be in this house all alone by yourself? If it's paid off and everything, and if you're making all this money. And at the time, I thought maybe it was, and now I'm here and everything, and I'm just, going back and forth in my head about it.
Well, back to my question. I mean, is she somebody that you were thinking at the time, before she walks out on you, that she's the one for you?
You're going to spend your life with her?
I was thinking yes, but also our financial visions kind of aren't aligned.
Now see, this is why I asked the question. I think this is, I don't know that you're obsessed. I think you're focused.
You might be a wee bit intense.
Yes.
For paying off the house. But you do have a set goal.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, honestly, if the relationship meant a lot to you, you would have hired somebody to help you with the lawns, and you'd have been home a little bit more.
That's what I was digging.
And you would have taken one more year to pay off the house instead of two years. You're going to do it 3 years, and you could have easily adjusted this. And you've already thought of all that, but you're just like, I'm going for it. And if you want to go for the ride, go for the ride. She's like, I'm out.
And Dave, though, but you're the perfect person for him to talk to here. I want to bring this back. He wasn't sure that she's the one because of her values on money.
Right.
And that's legit. for him to have that check in his spirit. Yes.
Well, I mean, but he put it to the test, is what he did,
Yeah,
and
he
she
did.
flunked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it.
I'm not concerned. I guess I don't have any flags here on this.
Well, the only thing that I've got off is listen, someone that's willing to pay a price to win is always going to win.
I like that person.
Okay, and so I'm aligned with you on all that, and I've done similar things to what you're doing. I did not run off my wife. Of course, this wasn't your wife, but I didn't run off my wife with hard work. On the contrary, my wife was the one who said, "Would you please go get some money?"
Exactly.
Would you get up? We don't really need to sit here and hold hands and watch someone else on television be successful.
Right.
You need to get off your butt and go get some money. We're poor.
Right.
And that's the woman I'm married to. Quite the opposite of the woman that left you. Okay. So, yeah, she's, merciless, but, okay.
Now, the flip side to this is
we don't teach to pay off your mortgage that you're intense. We teach you're intentional.
That's right.
And that's the only thing that's throwing me a little bit here. But no, you're not obsessed. You have a set goal. You're willing to pay a price to hit that goal. And there is an end to it. You're not working just to be working. You didn't tell me I want to do this for the rest of my life. You said I'm doing it to this point, and then I'm going to dial back, and then I'm going to go on to the other things. And I'm a person that sets and hits goals. No, you're not obsessed, and no, you're not out of control.
There is another question I think he has to ask himself, so I'll leave this as your homework. If you slow down the timeline to pay the house off a little bit because you want to give it another shot with her, is that something that you feel like you could willingly do? You got to answer that. We can't answer that for you.
I don't think he wants another shot with her because they're not aligned financially.
Well, he sounds lonely.
Well, that doesn't mean that she's the reason.
I know, but I'm saying he could sit her down.
She might not be the solution to lonely.
I agree, but I'd sit her down one time and go, all right, you don't.
Nah.
Oh, see, I thought I was trying to.
No, she jumped out of the plane, pulled the chute.
That's where I started. I was trying to soften my stance. I'm with you.
She bailed. I'm not chasing her. She bailed.
I agree with that, actually.
Sorry.
I thought I was being too much of a hardliner over here.
What do I know anything about any of this? I've been married for 43 years. I haven't been on a date other than my wife
I'm 27
in 47 years. So I don't know nothing.
We don't know anything about dating.
Completely unqualified.
Isn't that true?
In matters of dating and love.
Yeah, we're ancient.
Yeah, that's it. But it's fun. It's fun to participate, whatever. Hey, Kyle, I think you're okay. And I think you just need to make, what I was doing is I'm always going to make clear in my mind what actually occurred. She said, we're not aligned. I don't think the goal is as important as you do.
That's right.
And
no
she
question.
left.
That's
and
right.
she left. And you said, I think this goal is more important than a girl I'm not aligned with. And so I'm going to stay on the goal. Knowing that, because you were warned.
That's right.
And you didn't change.
That's exactly
so you made a conscious choice. And that's an okay thing. Just say that out loud, live with it, and go. Now, is it because you're obsessed? No, it's because you're not aligned. It's because you had a goal that was really important to you, and it wasn't important to her.
And she would have been a keeper if she'd have said something along the lines of, hey, listen, I am totally for this. I see it. I believe in it. I'm all in. But
How can I
you
help?
spend a little bit more time with me?
Yeah,
can we just carve some intentional time?
Can we figure this out here? And
that would have been a keeper.
How can I help? You know, that kind of thing.
That's right.
But instead, it's like, you're choosing lawnmowers over me.
Is it worth it to sit in this house alone?
You sit over there by yourself.
Paid for a house.
You sit over there by yourself.
Now we're into voices.
God, you kill me. Now
what are we doing?
This is got.
We're like the two old Muppets.
That's
in
it.
The balcony.
Two old men Muppets. This is awful. Ken.
Laughing at our own
this
jokes.
Is bad radio. It's bad humanity.
Good news. Commercials coming up.
Good. Thank God. Something entertaining. If anyone depends on your income, you need affordable term life. Never cash value insurance. Visit Xander.com today for quotes. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Up next, we've got Bill in New Haven, Connecticut. Bill, how's it going?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My wife and I are in a very difficult situation. I'm 71. I'll be 72 next month. My wife is 66. She teaches at a private school. We moved from a state where the salaries are considerably lower than they are here in Connecticut, and the cost of living is not a whole lot different. And this past summer, in the heat of the summer, for Connecticut, our air conditioning went out completely. And it's going to cost us almost $14,500 to get a new furnace and everything to replace the one that went out. And it's going to. They have a state program here. I can finance. It'll be almost be about a $175 a month for 10 years. Additionally, my wife took out a parent loan for our daughter to go to college. I was adamantly opposed to it, but her philosophy is she's my baby and I love her, so I'm going to do it. And due to being in forbearance twice, once due to getting sick and having to take off work during the school year in the other state, and then moving up here to Connecticut, she went into forbearance each of those 2 times. And what that means is that you don't have to make a payment, but the interest accrues.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, she still owes over $100,000 on that. Our daughter went to a private school in New York. And it's like I've been fighting a losing battle financially all these years. And I'm 71 now. I'll be 72 next month. And I have to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I took an early retirement a few years ago, but all I'm getting is a small Social Security check because my salaries were always low. I have a small Army Reserve retirement. Thank goodness I stayed in that for over 20 years. And then I have a very, very small state retirement from our most recent state. I worked for the state retirement system for a few years.
So
and,
what is the household income add up to right now?
Our total income, our AGI is less than 100,000.
Okay.
Including everything. And my wife is 66, and she would like to start receiving Social Security when she can get the maximum dollar amount, and I would like for her to do that too. But she's talking about starting to receive Social Security as soon as she can, which I believe is about another 6 months or so, something like that. And it would be considerably less. And she teaches at a private school now. She's happy there. The salaries at private schools are very low. But she says at her age, if she were to get a Connecticut teaching certificate, nobody would hire her because who wants a 66-year-old woman?
I don't buy that one.
Well, that's what she says. And plus, she loves where she is now. She was in a miserable teaching situation in the previous state. That's why she went on sick leave, because the superintendent drove her to that, to make a long story short. And then we moved up here. And so due to those 2 situations is why she went on the forbearance, because we did not have any money coming in to make the payments. Now I'm looking at going back to work, whether it's full-time or part-time, preferably full-time, because, like I said, I need the money.
Well, how much do you guys have that's liquid? Liquid cash?
Oh, nothing. We have bills up to our eyeballs.
You have more debt than the Parent Plus loans and this 14.5 HVAC?
Yes.
What else?
Yes. Credit cards, of course. And it's about $70,000.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, I know. It's horrifying, and I'm.
Is your wife concerned about this, or is it just you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, both of us are concerned.
And what other debt?
Well, the house.
What's left on the mortgage?
Oh, gee, probably about 200 and something thousand.
Okay.
What's the house worth?
I don't know. We're not sure about that. It's about.
What'd you buy it for?
I'm trying to remember. We bought it for $300,000 and something.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I'm looking at going back to work, and I know that some of the places I've come across mention in their ads that they offer 401ks. Some mention that they offer 401ks with a match. Some do not mention a 401k at all. Now, my understanding is that you have to begin withdrawing from a 401k at a certain age. And I'm wondering if at my age, would I even be allowed to put money into a 401k? And if I did, what would I do? Put the money in the 401k and get the employer's match and then start withdrawing the 401k?
Well, truthfully, Bill,
bills?
I don't want to be their bearer of bad news, but we got a ways to go before we would even begin investing. So we wouldn't recommend you do any investing until you clean up this mess.
Even with the employer match.
Even with the employer match. You guys are so underwater on payments, you don't have a dime to invest.
You're exactly right.
So we need to clean up this debt. And so I'm going to start with the smallest balance to largest. I'm going to try to... Can your daughter make the payment on these student loans?
She won't do it.
Why?
She says it's the parent's responsibility to pay for the child's education. I paid for all of my education.
Who taught her that? Mom?
How did you guess?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, okay, so, Bill, here's the reality.
You've been catered to her whole life.
Well, this is as much a marital problem as much as financial.
You've
got some resentment towards your spouse.
Yeah, you got a marriage issue. And George and I can't solve the marriage issue. Unfortunately, the marriage issue has created a mountain of money issues. And Bill, look, here's the bottom line. We teach the baby steps for a reason, whether you're 71, 51, or 31. And right now, what you have to do is $1,000 as an emergency fund. And unfortunately, you had a massive emergency in the form of an HVAC system. You got to take care of that, George. That's a tough situation. You can't use credit cards to do that, but you guys are going to have to scramble and work, and it's time for you and Mom to have a conversation with the daughter, and it's time for her to grow up. That's going to be a difficult conversation. If your wife is as concerned as you said she is, then it's time for her to have some hard conversations. This is a mess.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at $200,000 outside of the mortgage that you guys owe if you're taking on these Parent Plus loans while making $90,000. And you're already almost 72, Bill. And so we've got to make some big decisions. You got to go make $25 an hour at least, 40 hours a week to help. But you need your wife on the same page first. You're not going to make any progress when you're trying to do this on your own. And you need to have that hard conversation with your daughter and say, listen, Mom and Dad are broke. And unless you want to be taking care of us for the next 20 years, we need to clean up our mess and you need to clean up these student loans. But again, the legal responsibility is on you guys, which is the worst part about these Parent Plus loans, Ken. High interest rates, forbearance, the kid doesn't pay, it's on the parents, and Thanksgiving dinner's real awkward. Bill, I'm so sorry you're going through this, man. I hope that you can clean this up and one day retire again, but this time the right way, with some dignity, with some peace, with some patience, and with a pile of money.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Jay, here's this article I want to get your take on.
Okay.
And it involves TikTok.
All right.
Loud budgeting is going viral on TikTok, and for good reason.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So define loud budgeting for those that don't know.
Okay. So loud budgeting, this is me in my own words. It's basically people coming on Instagram and sharing openly. They'll either openly share their actual budget or they'll share all the tips that they're using to spend less. They're just being open. For once, I think social media has taken a turn for the good because we're being real. And I think that this loud budgeting thing is great because it's really relatable. No one wants to see you standing in front of somebody else's personal jet, right? Like nobody else wants to see you, oh my gosh, look at this new Louis bag I bought. And like, you're like influencing, right? People want to see, here's the thing, in 2024, I'm getting my money right. Guys, look at my budget. I'm spending $500 on groceries. I'm not doing any Uber Eats. I've decided I'm not, I'm doing a no spend month. People want to see that because that's real. And that's really what loud budgeting is about. I've seen a lot of different types
It's the social accountability, it seems, and it's flying in the face of. It's the opposite of quiet luxury. That's how it started. I think this guy Lucas Battle started this TikTok trend of loud budgeting, but it's pushing against this influencer consumerism pressure, and it's people owning, saying, I can't spend money on that.
Right. Normalizing real money talk.
What's frustrating is that we're out here, we're talking about budgeting every day, and people dog us for it, but then Gen Z makes a viral TikTok trend, and now budgeting is cool again. It's like cash. Dave's like, get the envelope system. They're like, he's an out-of-touch boomer. And then it's like, cash stuffing is in. The new viral trend among Gen Z. I'm like, they're just budgeting with the cash envelope. This is confusing. But
I know.
This is one trend I'm not mad about, Jade. Unlike Stanley tumblers and Crocs.
Facts.
This is a trend I can get behind because this is really just sharing your money aspirations. And as our friend Dr. John Deloney would say, choosing reality.
Yeah.
Going, I am broke and I'm going to be open and honest with that and drop the shame and the guilt and go, I need accountability.
Listen, I say all the time, the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself and for others is start utilizing the word no and start saying out loud, literally out loud in a confident voice, I'm not going to buy that because it's not on the budget. Like when I started doing that, that's when stuff started changing. And not only is it good for you because it's an exercise in choice because you're saying, I'm not going to spend that. Not, I can't afford it and I'm not going to be able to get that.
Well, a lot of times people use it and there's shame, there's justification. And, I'm telling my friends, it's not in the budget. And they go, oh, what a cheapskate. Instead, do it with a smile and say, hey guys, it's not in the budget for me to go out. Would you guys be okay coming over and we do a movie night?
Right.
That's what this is.
Or you put on the other side of it, you put what your goal is. Like you say, you know what, guys, I'm not going to...
I'm trying to pay off debt.
I've decided I'm not going to brunch this weekend because I'm really trying to get my savings up. Not only does that reinforce your goal, but like even psychology says you get that hit of dopamine when you share your goals. It's like, ooh, and you feel it, and that makes you more motivated to then check in again with those same people because they're going to follow up with you and be like, hey, I thought you said you weren't spending. I thought you said you were on a budget. And that's actually a good thing. It's
you need to call your friends out. For too long, we're just letting our friends make stupid decisions. That's no friend.
That's not a good friend. I'm totally with that, George.
I like what this says in this article. Suggests you should speak up about your financial situation and make spending decisions that support your goals and match your current budget and needs.
That's right.
That is a trend I can get behind.
That's right.
Ask yourself, are these spending decisions supporting my financial goals? That's an adult decision right there.
I like that. Listen, I love that it has a new term. It's kind of like when TikTok came out with cash stuffing.
Yep.
And they acted like they were the first ones to do that.
To invent the envelope system.
Right.
Your boy Dave, he's been out here 30 years preaching it.
Listen, I feel like we've been preaching this same loud budgeting thing here at Ramsey for the last... I know for Dave, 30 years, and for us, the length of time we've been here. And you just really have to be, what I would say is I think that social media can be a great place to get advice, but you do need to be careful. So I feel like I'm kind of shifting the conversation a little bit, but I think you have to be careful because there is a lot on social media when it comes to money and advice and tips that's like, I don't know about that. Like there's got to be method involved. So like with loud budgeting, I can support any channel, George, that kind of teaches those like 5 pillars, like get out of debt, budget, get the right insurance, make sure you're saving, for emergencies and retirement, and make sure you're prioritizing giving, right? That's kind of like the 5 pillars that you want to be looking for when you're on social media. However, and there is a right order to do those things. And I feel like that's where Ramsey shines, is that we're teaching you the right order to do all of these things in the right way in which to go about those 5 pillars. And that's the baby steps. And you really don't get any better than that.
It works every time. Instead of telling people, well, you need to be investing, but also you need to be paying off your debt, but also you need to, it's like people can't make progress.
You can't do
like
all that. Yeah.
And even worse, a lot of these financial creators out there are sponsored by the credit card companies, which is why they're telling you, here's how to maximize and here's the best card to get and use my affiliate link. And I'm like, are you guys really falling for this? You think they have their best interests at heart?
Right.
When you're pitching these different credit cards? So it's exhausting. So be careful.
Yeah.
Follow the Ramsey crew. There's a lot of good eggs out there in the financial creator world, but there's a lot of bad ones too. Yeah. So,
but loud budgeting is
tread
good.
with caution. But yeah, I'm a fan of this. I'm just sad we didn't get there first, Jade. How do we create the next viral financial trend on social media?
I think we were there first. Listen,
Are we too old?
No, I saw Rachel Cruz sharing real people's budgets. I know I've been on there sharing real budgets and sharing our own numbers. Like, listen, we're not late to the party. We started the party.
And we're here to stay.
That's right.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Nick is with us in Virginia. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Christina. I got my Gazelle card a few weeks ago. I'm holding up high right now.
All right. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right. We need to put like a light on it so you can hold it up like a cell phone, right? Have a concert. All right. What's up, man? How can we help?
Yeah, Dave. So I'm moving from D.C. to Greenville, South Carolina. We're looking to buy a home in December and then selling our current home in D.C. in February. I've listened to the Real Estate Reality Check. I read the blog post. I think you put out a month after that. I'm just still worried, It might sound ridiculous, but I'm still worried about housing prices crashing, getting stuck in between two houses, everything like that. I'd love to hear some more of your thoughts on that and some more reassurance.
Well, I mean, since Washington continues to layer stupid upon stupid, there's a lot of reason for us to be a little worried. I mean, it's, you just keep watching them. I mean, how many more dumb things can you people do up there? And so not you personally, but I'm just saying DC, the politicians, the freaking White House has lost its mind economically. It's the worst economy inflation-wise in 40 years. So yeah, I can understand you being concerned. I mean, I kind of look over my shoulder and I know the data and I'm real comfortable with the facts, but your emotions do creep up on you. I don't blame you for that. I can understand that. I went and talked to one of my friends that's a custom home builder this weekend, and he goes, yeah, it changed because I got no customers. They were lined up around the block, and he's got no customers. So, yeah, it's changed. And he's talking about building stuff next summer, that kind of a thing. A year from now. And so which is not far from your time frame. So, but all that to say, yeah, I emotionally agree with you, but the facts are still there. There is still 4 buyers for every house that's up for sale. The facts, recent data, as I read 2 articles on the air yesterday, George and I did, that are coming out with fresh data, even out of California, which is really experiencing some problems because of the mass exodus. And we've got a California refugee problem in Tennessee, and so. But this still is affecting things. But the data nationwide for Greenville, South Carolina, and for Arlington, Virginia, is still that there's about 4 buyers for every house that's for sale. Now that they're not as active and they're not as frenzied as they were, but that was an unusual frenzy for about 2.5 years we went through there. I've been in the real estate business since 1978. I've never seen people act like that before. Usually it takes about 90 days to sell a house, and you're going to get a couple of offers, and none of them are full price. And that's a normal house selling process over the last 40 or 50 years. You're going to experience that. And you don't have to rush over and overpay for something when you get to Greenville, South Carolina. You're going to be able to walk around, look at houses, and make an offer, and think about it, and, use a normal buying process, too. Now, what I would do, and I would do this in any economy, is I would not buy a house until yours is sold.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay. What's the reasoning for buying in December and selling in February?
Just the slow process of moving. My wife's wrapping up her job, so it's that, really. She's from Greenville, South Carolina, so we know it very well. I mean, I've been there probably once or twice every year, once or twice a year for the last 10 years, so... I just kind of want to do.
If you end up with 2 house payments, you're going to become what's called a motivated seller.
Well, the other house is almost paid off, so I can literally write a check today and pay it off.
Okay, well, if you want to pay it off and sit on it, but here's the thing: even that, with it sitting up there empty, and you're paying taxes and insurance and utilities, and you got to keep it all nice and proper so it can be shown. You're going to reach a point emotionally that you become a motivated seller. I want rid of this thing. I want that chapter of my life closed. So be real careful with that, because I don't want you to give it away because you create a situation for yourself. So I personally would rethink that and say, I'm not buying until mine sells. And if that means you rent for 6 months in Greenville, or you do some other plan, you do some corporate housing in Arlington because you sell the house out from under yourself in December, and your wife has some things to close up, then that's fine. But I'm going to change the logistics to flip-flop on that, where I buy 90 days after I sell, or at least 9 days after I sell. And that'll take a lot of stress off of this. Hey, good question, man. Thanks for letting us discuss it. This is The Ramsey Show.